Chris Jericho replaces Raw GM Adam Pearce. Cody Rhodes pays tribute to Brodie Lee and Bray Wyatt. Dominic Mysterio's injury concern grows. Liv Morgan suffers another injury. Is Raw live or taped this week? Jacob Fatu's return expected soon. Why WWE won't bring back brand-specific PLEs? Triple H's rumored backstage issues addressed. How does WWE decide which wrestlers get to keep their indie names? Let's dive right in. Cody Rhodes pays tribute to Brodie Lee and Bray Wyatt. The undisputed WWE champion Cody Rhodes was in action tonight as he main evented the Stamford-based promotion's live holiday tour event in Rochester against Drew McIntyre in a street fight for the title. Following the match, the American Nightmare paid tribute to the late pro wrestler Luke Harper, aka Brodie Lee. After battling his arch-rival, the Scottish Warrior, and retaining his strap, Rhodes didn't leave the ring, having a few words to say about his late friend, former WWE and AEW star Brodie Lee. The American Nightmare expressed that the city belongs to Lee, and Brodie always talked about his city. Cody claimed that he was the best representation of the city, among other things. We are on WWE's holiday tour. My wife texted me early, said where we are tonight. I told her where I was. She said that's where Luke Harper Brodie Lee came from. He was an absolute wonderful representation of this city. He loves this city. He always talked about it. And it's funny how things work out that I come out here, get my B kicked, and Wyatt 6 comes and saves me. It's amazing how all this works. Thank you guys for being part of it, he said. December 26th marked Lee's 5th death anniversary, and on the occasion, Brodie's wife, Amanda Huber, posted multiple tribute tweets about her late husband. She took to her official X/Twitter account and shared a heartwarming story about how Cody Rhodes has always been available to her and her son. She opened up saying the American Nightmare drove 6 hours just to meet her son, took him to fly kites, and called Cody a perfect role model for the boys. She also called him a true friend for always standing by their family and welcoming the Herber family into the Rhodes family. A fan posted a video clip on X of Eric Rowan taking the mic during the show. Eric Rowan talked about Luke Harper, saying he loved Rochester and called it home. He also credited Bray Wyatt for making him a recognizable name in wrestling while addressing him as the brother of Uncle Howdy. This was his, Luke Harper's, home. This was the place he talked about. This is the place that he loved, Rochester, New York. And he told me about the place on Dinosaur Barbecue. That's some pretty damn good food. And I couldn't be here tonight without this man's, Uncle Howdy's brother. Rowan, Bray Wyatt, and Luke Harper had taken WWE by storm with the freshness and creativity of their gimmick. Rowan and Harper even won the NXT Tag Team Championship and the WWE SmackDown Tag Team Championship together. Ahead of the special show in Rochester, New York, Eric Rowan took to X to express his grief. He posted a picture of him and Luke Harper with the SmackDown Tag Team Championship belts. Venting his feelings, the 44-year-old wrote, "Grief is a funny thing. It's something that never goes away. Some days are good, filled with emotional memories. Some not so good, filled with frustration. People can leave a lasting impression on others, either for the bad or the good. John was the latter. Can't think of one person who had a bad thing to say about the wrestler, the father, the husband, or the man. He was the foundation of what I myself hope to be. 5 years has passed since we last talked on this physical realm, but you are part of my heart always. Love you forever, brother." The white sheep of the Wyatt family is now a member of the Wyatt 6, led by Uncle Howdy, the real-life brother of Bray Wyatt. Rowan is the primary enforcer of the faction, which is currently feuding with Solo Sikoa and his MFTS. Dominic Mysterio's injury concern grows. The reigning WWE Intercontinental and AAA Mega Champion Dominic Mysterio has had a perfect year, having been in the mid-card title picture almost the whole time, evolving as a wrestler and heel star, and closing the year by beating John Cena at Survivor Series War Games 2025. However, Dirty Dom met with an incident and injured himself while pulling off double duty. He competed at AAA's Guerra de Titanes on December 20th, where he teamed up with El Grande Americano against a team of Rey Mysterio and Rey Fenix. Toward the end of the bout, Dom seemed to have injured his shoulder. The concern for Dirty Dom has raised even more, as the Intercontinental Champion has missed the promotion's latest live shows. He was set to face his father at one show but was pulled off the card, and Grayson Waller replaced him. Additionally, he was not with his kayfabe girlfriend, Liv Morgan, during her return match on the live show. This has now worried fans even more about Mysterio's health, and it seems that Dominic's shoulder injury is indeed serious, possibly keeping him out of action for a long time. If Dirty Dom is seriously injured and needs to take some time off, Monday Night Raw's general manager Adam Pearce has to do his job and strip Mysterio of his Intercontinental Championship to save the mid-card division. Mysterio won back his Intercontinental title, defeating John Cena at the WWE Survivor Series War Games 2025 Premium Live event with the help of returning Liv Morgan. That said, it will be interesting to see what plans Triple H and his creative team have in store for King of the Luchadors if he is injured as he heads closer to the new year. Liv Morgan suffers another injury. Liv Morgan finally returned to in-ring competition during a recent live event in Tampa, Florida. During the show, the Miracle Kid almost broke fans' hearts with another injury. In June 2025, Liv Morgan suffered a brutal shoulder injury during her clash with Kairi Sane. She was out of action for months before surprisingly returning at Survivor Series War Games 2025 to help her on-screen boyfriend, Dominic Mysterio, reign supreme against John Cena. During the company's live holiday tour in Tampa, Florida, Morgan wrestled for the first time since returning to WWE TV. The Miracle Kid locked horns with Lyra Valkyria in a singles match, At one point in the bout, the Judgment Day star almost broke fans' hearts once again by teasing another shoulder injury. An ex-user uploaded a clip from her match in which Liv can be seen trolling the audience by holding onto her shoulder for a few seconds before laughing and flexing her bicep. Both Liv Morgan and Lyra Valkyria put on an incredible display of action inside the squared circle. However, the match ultimately ended in the Judgment Day star's favor. This was a massive victory for Morgan as her last win came in April 2025. During an interview on Going Ringside, Raquel Rodriguez talked about her Judgment Day teammate. Liv Morgan's surprise return to television at Survivor Series War Games. Rodriguez said that she was not surprised to see Morgan back on WWE TV, as she believed the Miracle Kid was hungry for success and wanted to add more championships to her name. You know, if I know Liv Morgan as good as I think I know Liv, I'm actually not surprised she's back already, because that girl is hungry. She's hungry for success. She's hungry for a championship. She's hungry just to be better and be the best that she can be. And so, as also a fellow athlete, when you do get taken out for an illness or for an injury, it is so difficult to sit on the sidelines and just watch, she said. It will be interesting to see what the Triple H-led creative team has planned for Liv Morgan's future in WWE. Is Raw live or taped this week? The final episode of WWE Raw in 2025 is set for December 29th and will air from the Kia Center in Orlando, Florida. Last week's edition of the show was taped due to the holidays, which has led to fans wondering whether this week's show was also pre-recorded. The December 29th edition of WWE Raw is set to be held live, since only last week's edition of the show was taped. Tickets for the show are still available and can be found on Ticketmaster. Among the stars featured for the show are CM Punk, Rhea Ripley, Jey Uso, Becky Lynch, and LA Knight. The final episode of Raw in 2025 is set to be a huge one, with a world title match and the tag team championships being put on the line. It remains to be seen whether any of them will change hands to end the year with a bang. WWE Raw General Manager Adam Pearce has announced several major matches and segments for the show in his weekly preview on social media. The Women's World Championship will be defended in a triple threat match, where Stephanie Vacher will look to retain against Nikki Bella and Raquel Rodriguez. Moreover, the Usos will challenge AJ Styles and Dragon Lee for the World Tag Team Championship. The Vision is set to kick off the show, and their newest member, Austin Theory, will face Rey Mysterio in a singles match on the show. More matches and segments are set to take place as the show airs live, including appearances from CM Punk, Rhea Ripley, Sky, and Becky Lynch ahead of their title matches next week. It remains to be seen how things will turn out tonight on the red-branded show and whether we will see any new faces make their debuts. Jacob Fatu's return expected soon. Jacob Fatu was spotted outside WWE amid his absence. His return could be expected soon. Ever since he joined WWE, Jacob Fatu has been on a meteoric rise. WWE has also done a pretty good job in pushing him as a top star in the company. He has been involved in some major feuds and even won the United States Championship. Jacob was on track to challenge for the WWE Championship when he was mysteriously attacked backstage. Following this, it was reported that he would be taking time away from the ring due to a dental procedure. Amid his absence, the WWE star was recently spotted in Orlando, Florida, with the BYU Cougars ahead of the 2025 Pop-Tarts Bowl. He looked in good spirits and seemed healthy, indicating that a return could be fast approaching. Jacob Fatu was supposed to face Drew McIntyre in a #1 contenders match for the WWE Championship. However, after he was written off TV, Drew automatically became the #1 contender and started feuding with Cody Rhodes. Since then, the two men have battled over the WWE title. WWE also had to change plans for Survivor Series, War Games 2025. Jacob was supposed to be a part of Roman Reigns' team for the show. However, Cody Rhodes took his place since he was out of action. Now it's only a matter of time before Jacob makes his return to WWE TV. The only question that remains is if the sports entertainment juggernaut will pick up right where it left off with the Samoan Werewolf and place him in the #1 contender spot for the WWE Championship. It will be interesting to see how Jacob will factor into WWE's plans once he returns to the ring. Why WWE won't bring back brand-specific PLEs. Fans hoping for the return of brand-exclusive premium live events might want to put those dreams on ice, because WWE's hands are tied by ESPN's checkbook. During the latest Fightful Q&A, Sean Ross Sapp was asked if WWE would ever bring back brand-split PLEs to give underused talent more exposure. But as it turns out, the decision isn't just a creative one. It's a business call dictated by WWE's media rights partner. Sapp dropped the truth bomb, revealing that ESPN's current deal doesn't allow for separate Raw and SmackDown shows unless they pony up more cash. They did not pay for half a roster on a PLE, Sapp explained. What they did pay for, though, are basically 5 to 6 match PLEs. That's become the standard now. According to Sapp, this format actually helped WWE for a while by allowing more marquee matches to air on weekly TV instead, but the core issue is simple. Unless ESPN decides to change the terms of their deal, WWE has no incentive to go back to brand-exclusive events. Unless WWE is paid for those additional events, it wouldn't serve them well to do them, he continued. They've got a set minimum number of events they do with ESPN, and unless ESPN comes along and says, well, we'll expand this deal and you can do this, there's really nobody that benefits. In short, it's not about talent, TV time, or roster depth, it's about contracts. And right now, ESPN owns the format. If you've been wondering why dual-brand PLEs have become the new normal, now you know. The old-school format isn't coming back anytime soon, unless there's a big change in the money department. What do you think? Would brand-exclusive PLEs help showcase more talent, or is the current format better for storytelling and star power? Triple H's rumored backstage issues addressed. A major WWE name recently commented on rumors that he had heat with Triple H in the company. The King of Kings currently serves as WWE's Chief Content Officer. Speaking on his Something to Wrestle With podcast, Bruce Pritchard addressed the rumors that he had issues with the game in the company. Pritchard shared that he had no reason to dislike the 56-year-old and praised his work ethic. He noted that the veteran married Stephanie McMahon, but would have been successful regardless. I have nothing to hate him for, and in all the times we worked together prior to coming back, and look, I can't speak for him, I don't know. But I do know how he treated me. He always treated me well. So he was a top talent and obviously married in. But if he had married Betty down the street, he'd still be in the same position he is in today because he still has those qualifications, he said. Pritchard still works behind the scenes in the promotion as an executive. WWE veteran Maven recently commented on his relationship with Triple H and revealed that the legend was not a fan of his work. Speaking on Mic Check with Mr. Anderson, the Tough Enough winner stated that Triple H does not like him, and he doesn't expect to get the call to return to the company while he remains in charge. At the end of the day, Hunter does not like me. We were cordial, but if there's anybody who hated the way I came into the business, it's him. I will forever in his eyes be the tough enough guy. He's a pruck. I'm never gonna ever say no to anything. I just don't think the call's coming while he's still there. That's it. I wish him the best. You'll never find anybody that knows the wrestling business than him. And I had great matches with him because he's good, not because I'm good. How does WWE decide which wrestlers get to keep their indie names? Ever wondered why some wrestlers keep their indie names in WWE, while others get stuck with bizarre rebrands? The answer comes down to one thing: trademark control. During the installment of Fightful Select Q&A, Sapp broke down how WWE handles this behind the scenes. It's not about personal preference or history, it's about whether WWE believes they can legally own the name. If they feel like they can get the rights to it, they'll do it, Sapp explained. But the system isn't perfect. In fact, Sean pointed to a recent case involving now former AEW star Ricky Starks that shows WWE doesn't always have its facts straight. For example, you mentioned Ricky Starks in your question. For some reason, they thought that AEW had the trademark to that. And I'm like, dude, he wrestled there under that name. He wrestled like in WWE under that name years ago. Like, what are you talking about? That kind of confusion shows how WWE's name policy can be both strategic and flawed. Even if a wrestler used their indie name for years, and even if WWE previously booked them under that name, it doesn't guarantee anything. If WWE believes they can secure exclusive rights, they'll run with it. If not, they'll often change the name entirely, sometimes to avoid future legal complications, and other times to make sure they can control the branding, merchandise, and licensing. For wrestlers coming into the system, it's a gamble. Either you walk in with a name you built, or you walk out with a name you didn't ask for. Is WWE justified in changing names to protect trademarks? Chris Jericho replaces Raw GM Adam Pearce. Chris Jericho has been absent from AEW for the past few months. New details have come to light about his reported WWE return. Chris Jericho was instrumental in the rise of AEW. He was a regular feature on TV and was even the inaugural world champion for the company. He was part of many instrumental storylines. Jericho stopped appearing on AEW TV for the past few months, leaving fans to wonder about his absence. During this time, he has posted clips from his time in the Stanford-based promotion, which has fueled speculation about his return to WWE. It was recently reported that Jericho's contract with AEW expires at midnight on December 31st, and WWE is considering bringing him back as early as the January 5th episode of Raw. John Alba of the Takedown on SI has now provided an update on that report, stating that his sources also believe that the former world champion is going to show up on WWE TV soon. Last night, Alex McCarthy reported that Chris Jericho's AEW contract expires at midnight on December 31st. He's WWE bound, and that he may debut as early as January 5 on Raw. My sources also believe he's going to show up on WWE TV very soon. The news of Chris Jericho's reported WWE return has been the talk of the town in recent weeks. Jonathan Coachman also speculated what role the former world champion could play when he returns. Jonathan Coachman took to social media and pointed out that Jericho hasn't competed in the ring in a long time. Therefore, he would be best suited to replace Adam Pearce as the Raw general manager. I have seen all of the wrestling sites jump on this one with very little to no proof that this is the case. But if this is true, no one is talking about what role he would play. We haven't seen him wrestle in months. He's one of my favorites all time, but if I am using him the best way, I get rid of Pearce and out Jericho in the authority role, which he would absolutely crush. The backstage and in-ring promos would be awesome. He doesn't need to be a top in-ring talent because he would need to wrestle at least 3 to 4 times a month, and not sure if he wants to or can perform high-level 30-minute matches thar much. It will be interesting to see whether Chris Jericho will make his return to WWE. Coachman also raised a valid concern about Jericho's in-ring schedule, especially given his long absence from AEW television since April 2025. He doesn't need to be a top in-ring talent because he would need to wrestle at least 3 to 4 times a month, and not sure if he wants to or can perform high-level 30-minute matches that much. The discussion erupted when reports surfaced that multiple sources believe Jericho will return to WWE shortly after his AEW contract expires on December 31st. Jericho himself has remained coy, saying only "you never know" when asked during his Christmas livestream if he'd return to WWE.